this crowd. Absolute. Thank you, first of all,
Run, Herman, run!
And let me tell you why it's so important that you come out. Many of you already know why it's important to come out. Because the liberals were hoping you would stay home. But you didn't. They were hoping that you would stay home. They were hoping that you would stay home because they started talking about people were going to infiltrate the Tea Parties. All right, y'all be real quiet. I want to ask a question. Will the infiltrators please raise their hand? Things that I want to share with you very quickly. And like I said, I am just thrilled that so many people came out. First, you and I both know that the American dream is under attack. The American dream is under attack. But the good news, because of you showing up and everything else that's going on across the country, we will fight back. One of the estimates is that 2 million people were attending tea parties today across this country. 2 million people were attending tea parties across this country, and you all have made Hot Atlanta look good, and I'm very proud of it. Let me tell you what we got to do. Let me tell you what we've got to do. The first thing we've got to do is focus on November 2010. Focus on November 2010. And all of our passion, all of our enthusiasm, we cannot let it die down between now and November. And you've also got to spread this passion to your neighbors, your friends, and your family. And you don't have to try to convert them to being conservative. You don't have to try to tell them how to vote. When you see them, or if you meet them at a soccer game, or you sit next to them and you're in a casual setting, all you have to say, remember in November, don't forget to vote. Remember in November, don't forget to vote. They'll figure out who to vote for. They'll figure out who to vote for, because I believe that a lot of people have figured out how to connect the dots. Now, we know that the liberals are out to kill and squash what's going on here today and across this country. And all they do is they try to shift the subject and know the facts and name call. That's all they know how to do, because they don't have any facts and logic to basically defend this social agenda that they have. And if anyone were to ask you what's going on in America and why we are so upset, you simply tell them, we don't want to be the United States of Europe. This is... We do not want to be the United States of Europe. And here's another response that you can have for the nan and the nan crowd. You know, you see them all the time. Well, you don't want to be the United States of Europe. That's answer number one. And if they continue the dialogue, if they can carry on the dialogue, and then you go, like I do on my radio show, and another thing, once you get their attention, America has always been destined to be a great nation, not a mediocre nation. We do great. Our founding fathers wanted to build a great nation. And that's what we want to maintain.
Run, Herman, run!
I'm going to get into when I'm talking to people who have drunk the Kool-Aid. You know, once you get them past that, and once you say we don't want to be the United States of Europe and we want to be a great nation, then they try to burst your bubble and say, well, it's too late because the Dems and the liberals are in control. And that's when you say, keep on believing that. Because as long as they believe that we are not paying attention, as long as they believe we are not going to go to the polls and make the right choice, they're at a disadvantage and we have the upper hand, because I happen to believe that this movement is real that's going on across America. It is real. Lastly, last night on my radio show.
USA!
That's good.
USA! USA!
And the A stands for America, not almost. It stands for America. One last point, and then I'm off. Last night on my radio show, just before I went off the show, I got my next to the last caller. I almost escaped without having to argue with the liberal. Could have gone home and enjoyed my dinner, but I took this one caller, and she asked a couple of questions, and Shani B, my producer, says, uh-oh, here we go. The first question she asked was, well, why are you against health care? I said, young lady, you obviously don't listen to my radio show a lot, because I'm not against health care, because we have the best health care in America. That's why I'm still alive as a cancer survivor. We've got the best health care in America. And I said, if you had been listening, you would have discovered that we have a health care cost crisis in America, and Obamacare does not fix it. Then she asked, because see, she wasn't really listening, this wasn't really a dialogue. And then she says, well, why do you be bashing on Obama? I said, I don't bash on Obama. I respectfully disagree with President Obama. We all respect the office of president, but we have a right to disagree with any elected official, and I pointed out to her that when this nation reaches a point where we cannot disagree with our elected officials, then we have become a nation ruled by tyranny. Point, I was being very calm. Didn't have to take my blood pressure didn't have to take extra blood pressure medication. And then she made the fatal mistake of saying, well, why do you hang out with those Tea Party people? Don't you know that these are the same people that used to hang black people 200 years ago? I had to take a deep breath. And that's when I pointed out two things. I said, first of all, these Tea Party people you're talking about, they weren't here 200 years ago. Now, if you show me a 200-year-old person that hung a black person, then I'll be mad at them. But I'm not going to be mad at the Tea Party people. Secondly, the reason that I hang out with Tea Party people, intelligent thinkers, Americans for Prosperity, Americans for Tax Reform, and all of the other organizations that believe in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, they believe in freedom and liberty, I hang out with them for one simple reason. We are all crazy. Crazy about the Constitution. Crazy about the Declaration. Crazy about the United States of America. They don't call us crazy. Yes, we're crazy. We're crazy about the future of this country. And then as my producer was saying, okay, you're running out of time. He was counting down. And I said to this young lady, and another thing, we the people are still in charge of this country.